Aubrey, you hear that voice that you heard earlier this evening on the payphone, and this voice says, "Well done. I have to say, as someone who's tried to defy the whims of fate myself a fair number of times, I didn't think you'd actually pull it off."
Listen, hi. Thank you for your help. Who are you?
That is a complicated question, Aubrey, one that will make a lot more sense when we meet tomorrow afternoon at my home, once Ned is back up and on his feet again. My name is Indrid Cold. That was the name I was born with in Sylvain. It's a nice name, I've always thought, perhaps a bit on the nose, a bit, supernatural sounding, but there's nothing I can do about that, can I? But I think you're asking a different question. I'm known as something different to the folks of this area. It's a nickname I picked up when I was younger and a bit more careless about my public persona. I don't prefer this title myself, but, well, I'm the Mothman. See you tomorrow.
What do I see inside?
It's pretty well tinted. You actually cannot see inside through the windows. But as you tap, the front door to the Winnebago facing you just opens up, and the man who opens the door is fascinating to look at. He's kind of gaunt. He's kind of withering away. But he looks confident and strong as he answers the door to face you. He looks he looks young, but also kind of wrinkled. He's got short silver hair with just sort of hints of black peeking through. He's wearing a tank top and some jeans, and you feel this just burst of hot air as the door swings open. And that's likely from the fleet of space heaters you can now see inside the Winnebago that is keeping his habitat a suitable temperature. And he's wearing this pendant of this orange crystal material, but his most eye-catching feature are his glasses. They are large and round and just this impenetrable reflective red. You all catch your reflection in them as he answers the door, and he says, "Okay, go ahead. Where are your wings? Obviously you can't see them right now because I'm wearing my disguise. Would you like to see my wings?"
Yes.
I don't know you very well, so no, not quite yet.
Then why did you ask?
It seems like kind of crappy to just offer like that and then yank it away.
I certainly would. Pardon my rude friends. Hello, I'm Ned Friendly Chicane.
Yes, I know who all of you are. Conversation is difficult for me because I'm always going to be just a little bit ahead. But if you, what am I going to say now? Yeah, it's nice. So, yeah, come on in. We have important things to discuss, and not much time to discuss them, if my estimations are correct.
Real quick, over here, a little parlay over here, if you don't mind.
That seems like a weird time, but sure, what's up?
Mm-hmm. We need to get his glasses.
Need to get his glasses? What?
Yeah, the bounty. A seer spectacles.
Yeah, the Marmaduke thing.
Ah, damn. All right. Well, that's something we're going to keep in our pocket when it makes the most sense. But you are right. Thank you for the reminder. We will steal this man's glasses. Man, let me try to say that again in a cool way. We will steal this man's glasses. Not, it's funny. It feels mean. No matter how many different ways I say it, it does feel like a mean, non-heroic action, if I'm being honest.
Well, thank God one of us has experience in stealing things that doesn't belong to him.
Yeah, but glasses, man. I mean, it just seems kind of fucked up.
Maybe he's got a spare pair. Like, he's got, like, a
I'm not
going
to steal his glasses. If y'all want to for another, I don't know, experience point, Zenny, I don't exactly know. what we're stealing stuff for, but if y'all want to, you go nuts.
He motions you all inside, and you enter his Winnebago. It is
Holy moly, it's hot in
hot.
there.
It's hot as hell. I think you all feel the sort of impulse to remove your winter outerwear and sort of protect yourself against the just like searing heat coming off of these 4 space heaters that are kind of precariously plugged into one big chunky power strip. It is not the cleanest in here. It is not the cleanest space you've ever been in. It almost kind of reminds you of Mama's office, pre sort of Barclay cleaning it up. There is a big old map of Kepler up on the wall with so many pins in it that you actually kind of have a hard time deciphering that, oh, this is in fact a map of Kepler. There is just like dirty dishes all over the place. You see an old like McDonald's commemorative set of Batman drinking glasses that have like eggnog in them, ancient nog. So he
Gnarly.
takes you over to, he actually folds down. There's like a table that he just kind of brushes some junk off of, and he folds it up into the wall, and a sort of couch pops into place. And he offers you all a seat. And he says, "Can I get you all anything to drink or eat or?"
Oh, God, no.
No, thanks.
I haven't entertained guests in quite some time, so I apologize that I don't have more to offer.
Mr. Mothman.
Please, can you call me Indrid? I don't prefer Mothman.
All right, Indrid. Are you like super into nog, or what's the story?
Who isn't? He says, and he takes a belt of some fresh nog from the fridge. He after he finishes taking a drink, and you all have sort of gotten as comfortable as you're gonna get in this room, he walks over to this one wall that is opposite you. It is just next to this big map, and there are like 8 pencil sketches of just like various things. It looks like he just kind of walked around Kepler and just sketched some things, just some local buildings, and there's one of the funicular tram that connects the topside and riverside, and there's one of the Cryptonomica. There's just lots of just sort of sketches, and as he's sort of getting you all comfortable in this room, he sort of perks up and he walks over and he takes down one of the drawings and crumples it up and throws it away. And he says, "I know you all have lots of questions, and I actually know what most of those questions are going to be, but in the interest of making this feel like a normal conversation, what is it that you all want to know before I tell you what I need?"
Can I have your glasses?
No, I really...
Do you have an old pair?
Why do you need...
Or
you need my glasses for what reason?
A big cat?
I thought you would know what reason.
Oh.
I'm not a mind reader. That's not really how this works. I have no conceivable idea why you need my glasses other than the fact that they're very stylish.
All right, keep your glasses. Listen, what is going on with the? Okay, let me back up even further. It seems like snow or wind has been acting all goofy. I don't know how to put it in like the technical fantasy terms, but it's been acting all shitty and weird. Do you know what the story is? What's causing it?
He says, and he turns and he crumples up another one of those drawings and throws it away. And he says, "There are a lot more powers that are misbehaving at the moment than just the snow or just the wind. Okay, so I can see the future.
Cool.
Mm-hmm. In a manner of speaking. And I'm gotten pretty good at it. There is something out there that is changing the future. Or rather, maybe changing the present to alter the future. This might be kind of complicated. So I was the court seer when I was still in Sylvain. This was well over a century ago, so it's been some time. And the power that I developed there, thanks to the powers that I inherited from Sylvain, were the power of clairvoyancy. It's not like seeing what's going to happen a few minutes from now. I see several hundred futures that could potentially come to pass. Imagine that you're sitting in front of a big wall of televisions, hundreds of them, and There are different television shows on those screens, all starting at different times. That's what I see, potential futures. Sometimes I see patterns. I see several nearly identical futures, maybe suggesting a higher likelihood that they'll come to pass. Sometimes I see futures disappear when events render them impossible. But something is making the patterns change more quickly than even I can track. Something unnatural, he says, and he crumples up another drawing and throws it away. I don't know whatever it is, but I'm assuming it has something to do with the abominations, and I figured that I could help you all out. I haven't really been in the interference game ever since, the Silver Bridge, but I figured maybe this would be a pretty good chance to do so.
Silver Bridge?
Yeah, it was a back quite a while. I'll tell the story as we know it, because I have to imagine that your take on it is probably a little bit different from ours, but back around the Point Pleasant, when a lot of people were citing Mr. Cold and the Mothman quite a bit, there was a disaster. Silver Bridge there in Point Pleasant collapsed and took a bunch of people with it.
46 people.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yes, it was certainly my most newsworthy failure, he says, and he crumples up another drawing. He says, I came to this world, like I said, a little around about a century ago, and I came here trying to find answers for the difficulties that my world is experiencing. Instead, I found myself falling in love with your world and wanting to protect its people from harm, but it seems like people weren't especially interested in listening to me, which I can't blame them for. I did try to remain sort of mysterious and clandestine about my warnings. That was my undoing, but after the Silver Bridge, I walked away from the soothsaying business. It was too much failure, too much, believe it or not, unpredictability. But whatever is happening now, these are not natural occurrences. This is something else entirely, and it's something that needs to be stopped. And he crumples up another drawing.
Wait, hold on. Is this like a jinx thing? Like, this is like, because, like, we saw, the sign falling. Like, that could be, just an accident. And, like, the car accident with the Gatorade bottle under the pedal. Like, it's just an accident. But if something is changing fate, is it like a jinx curse kind of deal?
If that were the case, that would mean that this abomination you're facing off against is stronger than any the Pine Guard has ever faced in its illustrious career. That would be very unfortunate indeed. And he crumples a few drawings off the wall now, and he closes his eyes, and he pulls the last remaining drawing off the wall. It is the drawing of the funicular train. And he looks at it, and he looks up at you, and he says, "Okay. The funicular train that connects Topside and Riverside is about to come crashing down the mountain, slamming into town, and destroying the base station. There are 3 passengers on it right now. They'll all be killed, and an engineer at the base station will be injured as well, but he'll pull through. Good news, though, you have 6 minutes this time." And he hands you all the drawing.
Go.
He says, "Yes, go."
I'll be back for those glasses.
As you put it to your ear, you hear a voice say, "Hello there. Nice work with the train. Duck 0 fatalities. I think that's pretty laudable."
Hey, thanks. I appreciate it. We do what we can.
You hear Indrid say, "I thought you would like to know that all of my visions have changed, Duck. Every single one of them. In the blink of an eye, all of the futures that I saw disappeared and were replaced by others. And as far as I could tell, Duck, this happened when you saved that goat man."
Oh. My impulse is to say I'm sorry? I don't know if that's applicable.
He laughs on the other end of the phone, and you hear him say, "I'm not certain it was all bad. This goat man is going to be in a lot of the futures that I see. He is, as far as I can tell, quite important.
A beloved character."
He says, "You are going to need to keep him safe, and You're going to need to keep him undiscovered, and you are going to need my help to do so. Bring him to me.
Are you gonna hurt him? Because I'm kind of put a lot of work into keeping him alive.
I have no intent on hurting him. Although he may get hurt. Yes. Yeah, you're going to go ahead and need to save him and your friends downstairs. Look outside. And through the window, next to sort of the table where the phone is, you see these big, fat, fluffy flakes falling from the sky. And Indrid says, I can't see the exact shape of it, Duck. It's pretty dark, but they are in danger right now. It's getting like I think like mid to late December at this point, and it's getting very cold outside, like painfully cold. It's still not like snowing, at least not naturally snowing, but it is it's in the 20s, and you feel it like on your face. It is very, very cold, and Indrid opens the door to his trailer, and you feel that like blast of heat from inside from the several what are those things called?
Heaters?
Hot makers.
Space heaters.
Space heaters, yes. And the Billy kind of like recoils at the blast of heat, kind of catches him by surprise. And Indrid
also,
says,
just to fill out the world here a little bit, to help get Billy around the world, I think that we've maybe like gotten like a big like vampire like cape from like Ned's, like from the Cryptonomica, as part of like the Halloween movie kind of show that he does. Okay. And so we put this like vampire hooded cloak on him, and maybe some kind of mask, maybe like I don't know what, maybe. But like
the mask is a Krampus mask, so it's kind of just like
because we're promoting the upcoming Krampus festival on Saturday Night Dead.
I like that. Okay. Then in Barclay's like truck, or rather Mama's truck, like there you definitely pass a car with with Billy in the back seat, and they see Billy dressed up as the Krampus, and they look like really scared for a second, and then they remember, oh right, this is Ned's show, and they wave at you, Ned. And now we're back.
Billy waves back,
and now we're back in the RV park.
I think as time has gone on, we have made Billy more and more like Harry from Harry and the
Yeah, I figured that would take maybe a quarter of an episode, and I was right. Indrid motions you all inside, and he says, hurry inside. You won't be able to prevent the deaths of the innocent masses if you all catch a cold. And he motions you into his Winnie. And
Billy, Indrid, Billy.
He smiles and he says, I know about Billy. I know about pretty much everything as soon as it happens, Aubrey. And he says, sorry, that sounded douchey. I'm really sorry. I forget sometimes that can come off that way.
Come on, man. Manners,
Sure.
Like, it's the only thing that separates us from the beast. No offense, Billy.
He lets you all inside, and as you all sort of shed your like heavy winter wear in this very, very sort of sticky, hot environment, he goes to the fridge and he says, could I warm you up with a cup of hot nog?
Pretty hot already. Fairly warm. I think we're good.
He offers hot nog to you, Ned and Duck. Any takers?
Do you think, do I want nog? I mean,
I don't know.
You should know if I'm going to have nog or not.
Okay, fine. Yeah, hold on. Wait. Yep, no nog. No nogs all around.
Wrong. I love nog.
You've changed the timeline.
Oh no, I destroyed Earth.
He pours you a nog and hands it to you, and he says, "It's funny, Duck. That is actually a great example of what's been going on lately. Before we get to business,
yes, I'll have a nog.
Oh, okay. He pours you a nog. Aubrey, it seems like everyone's nogging out. Are you okay?
No, thank you.
He puts he offers Billy a nog, and Billy definitely takes the nog, but Billy doesn't know what to do with it. Billy, I think, pours it on his hands and starts washing his hands over the sink with the nog.
Billy's definitely consumed a beverage before, right, Griffin?
Well, like he could lap at it, like a cat.
I mean, hey, It doesn't seem like it. It certainly doesn't seem like it. A clue.
So Billy just sprung fully formed onto this earth this morning?
I mean, you tell me.
Okay.
You don't know. There's still many things you don't know about Billy. But he's poured nog on his hands and he's washing his hands with it. And watching this with like just immeasurable amusement, Indrid says, "There are new futures. Aubrey and Ned, I've already told Duck about this, but there are new futures that were all born the moment that you saved this fascinating creature. I see him present in several timelines, absent in some others, but it seems like you will all need to keep him close until his true purpose is divined. But obviously you can't have a large goat man wandering around with you, despite how clever a costume you have whipped up for him, Ned. I was spooked. I have not personally met the Krampus myself, but I thought maybe he had come to visit me with his wintertime malice."
Can I just say, listen, you've been helpful and all, but can we, like, cut through some mystery bullshit?
Thank you.
And could you just, like, answer this question directly?
Just one question.
Snow falls, right, and bad shit happens, but, like, Billy's not, it doesn't seem like Billy's making, like, bad fates happen. What the fuck is going on?
I'm trying to decide like what he would be able to tell you about this, but you've basically asked me, Griffin, the keeper, to solve the entire mystery of this arc for you in one question, which
Well, there has
definitely
to be
isn't going to
something
happen.
he can, but there has to be something he can tell us beyond like vague, like there's things in the future, and if you like, okay, cool.
Okay,
So like
that's fair. He'll definitely firm things up. Okay, he sets down his nog, and the amusement that was on his face as he watched Billy fuck up is kind of gone
which
now.
also can I just say is very like he knew Billy was gonna pour it on his hands and wash his hands with it. Indrid, you jerk.
Indrid, just to clear things up, like as he explained in the last episode, like it's not like he is living constantly 15 seconds ahead of you. He sees like lots of different possible futures, not all of them, but lots of possible ones. So like the way he described it is like watching like 120 television shows all at the same time and trying to like keep track of it's hard to do that. So like I think he boasts, but I don't think he knows everything. So he looks serious for a moment and he says, "I think it's probably time that we took stock of what we know about the thing that's changing the future." He says, while I'm doing that, and he walks over to like this small wooden chest at the foot of his bed and he opens it. And inside are a bunch of are a bunch of garments, like loose articles of clothing, a lot of like accessories, like watches and bracelets, and just you also see just some junk in there, just a random assortment of items. And he says, "Billy, why don't you root through here and find something that speaks to you, and I'll whip you up a charm that will give you a human-like disguise that you can use to navigate the world." And he gestures Billy over to this chest and he starts rooting around. And he says, "That was the main purpose of this visit. Hopefully with that you all will be able to walk around with Billy in public without him having to dress up as the Krampus. I imagine after Christmas that disguise isn't going to make much sense anymore. You can't have an April Krampus. April Krampus brings May Schrampus."
You know what really might lend itself to that would be we can disguise a lot of him. We can disguise his body and, put a hat on him. But it's those goat eyes. The goat eyes. Would you happen to have a spare pair of your spectacles, your sunglasses that you wear, those tinted glasses? Would you have an extra pair of those that perhaps Billy could wear that would, obviously disguise his goatish eyes?
Aubrey mentally high fives Ned.
I mean, if that's what Billy picks, is if that's what Billy thinks fits his sort of persona.
Billy pretty much listens to me. We're pretty much. Maybe he could just try it out and see if it works.
Can we get back to the part where you were going to answer me?
Yes, of course. Sorry. So something is changing events at specific places to specific people and placing them on disastrous paths. The fact that you were all just targeted just now, moments ago, is in a way a boon. It means that these accidents aren't random. They are happening with intent. You were getting closer in your investigation to what is causing these accidents. You turned one of the enemy to your side. You had to be stopped. You were targeted. That means that there is a motive behind these attacks. If we can learn what the motive is, we can learn about who is perpetrating them.
Wait, hold on. So Billy and his two friends, they're not actually doing this, right? Like, they're not the ones changing the timeline?
You have spent more time with your new friend than I have. Does he seem capable of changing the time?
Now, honestly, he just seems like a real smart goat.
Wait. What if Billy and the other two, they're just like the foot soldiers? Maybe they work for whatever is changing the timelines?
That could be possible. Let's break things down. Let's go event by event. The first accident. Your friend, Rick Dannon.
Danimal.
The animal. The
Danimal. Yes.
You say it in a way that makes me so angry. You
say it like it's a joke?
You say it like it's spoiled in your mouth and turned to ash. Just call him Rick Dannon then, if you're going to be like that. Shit.
Or just like Richard.
Richard
No, I
is
can
fine.
hang.
Mr. Dannon.
I can hang Danimal.
That's better,
Danimal,
honestly. I will give it up to you for trying. Thank you for that.
Objects were taken from Danimal's truck.
Yes.
The tools of his trade. Leo's General Store. The Pizza Hut sign fell into it. What could be the cause of that? Why was the funicular attacked? We know why you were attacked, because you're getting close to solving the mystery. Something happened at the general store that furthered their purpose. Something happened at the funicular that furthered their purpose.
Here's what I don't understand, because it's like I almost want to connect it that the Danimal was an employee of the Park Service, and then at the funicular, your friend was there, and she's an employee of the Park Service. But what does that have to do with the general store?
There was somebody else at the general store we didn't identify. I remember that.
He was nobody. I'm sorry I included an NPC that I didn't even come up with a fucking name for. He is not the secret Voldemort of this campaign. I'm erasing. No, I'm Thanosing him from the timeline. There was nobody in the bathroom.
There's a voice.
Oh, wait a minute.
Shazam.
There's a voice.
Snap your fingers.
There's a voice in my head that says that guy wasn't important.
Yeah, and then I feel that too.
You feel that too, but then there's this other voice in my head that's like, it all turns on that guy.
Yeah, we can't trust that
or
first
gal
voice.
or non-binary individual. I don't know. There's so many unanswered questions about this person.
We should spend 3 episodes investigating this person.
Miniseries. I love it.
Was anything taken from the general store?
That's a good question. I'm going to go back there and look. And
We
then
didn't ask.
Several hours later,
Jump cut.
I went back and looked, and then I came back with editing.
Okay, now he says there are some mysteries, but has your new friend told you anything?
He said grow? They're growing something?
Yeah, you know what? One thing that was missing was some tools, some gardening tools. They stole some of those from the Danimal.
Yeah, and he said that he told us in his own weird way that they took those tools to help something grow.
Then it seems like that might be the culprit for what is changing the future. I think you all are sort of all caught up in trying to like summarize this mystery, that you don't see Billy sort of standing now, sort of filling up the entire frame, the entire door frame into Indrid's bedroom, where he is gone, and he has pulled out a watch, a nice big sort of metal band watch with a metal face on it. It is not operating, it is not ticking, but he has it, and maybe he just picked it because it was shiny and nice, but he bleats a few times and hands it to Indrid. And Indrid says, "Oh, thank you, friend." And he places it on a table. He like swipes some like Hot Pocket wrappers off the table and starts sort of tinkering with it. And you see like little flashes of light as he tinkers with it. And he says, "So I will be honest with you. I am not much help right now. There are so many different ways that this can end up. Some are disastrous, some are triumphant. And I don't know which way it's going to go, but what do you all think the next step is?"
That's going to be up to Billy here. Because if he's been making something grow, I wonder if he'd take us. Billy, will you take us to what you've been growing?
Billy looks kind of nervous, and I don't know. I think you will have to roll and manipulate someone if you want him to do it, which means you'll have to like give him a reason to do it. But he right now he just like he shakes his head. He shakes his head no, without any kind of like effort. He just shakes his head. No, he is like adamant. No way.
Hey, Billy, let me try it. It's me, your pal Duck. Remember how you almost beefed it, and then I was like, not on my watch, and I threw you over my shoulder, and then I spent several hours bringing you back from the brink of death. Just say Duck if you remember. Thank you. Well, listen, I didn't ask anything in return. In fact, you kind of tried to kill me, which is fine. I get it. But I'm asking you for this. You do this, and we're square. You no longer have... I don't know if your people have any sort of life debt. You have to pledge me until the debts are paid or anything, but you do this, you help me out, we're square.
He sort of nervously nods, and he just kind of stands there. He looks very like he looks super conflicted. You get the sense that he is sort of weighing his loyalties right now and trying to figure out where exactly they land. And you see like one last sort of bright flash as Indrid sort of waves his hands over this watch on the table, and he walks over and hands it to Billy, and he says, I hope you like what I whipped up for you. And Billy takes the watch and he puts it in his mouth because he's a goat.
Billy.
He says, pizza?
No, Billy, not pizza.
It's a watch, Billy.
Put it on your wrist.
He spits it out, and it lands in his hand, and he says, Duck. And he kind of like holds it. He like offers it to you, Duck, like he's like giving it to you.
No, listen, I don't need that. I appreciate it. Here, let me help. I'll take it out of his mouth, and I slip it onto his wrist. Or his like,
and,
not wrist, forehand. His wrist. Okay.
And wouldn't he have hooves instead of hands?
No, he's got hooves on the bottom.
Okay, I slip it around his beautiful
party up top.
Fetlock.
I've just Googled goat anatomy. Oh no!
You'll never recover from this. Delete your computer.
He transforms instantly. You've seen this when I think you've mostly seen this from Barclay when he has taken the bracelet that he wears off and turned into Bigfoot and then tossed it back on, and he transforms into a human man. I can leave this up to Juice. Like, you basically are the one who brought this character into the campaign. Do you want to decide what he looks like?
Yeah, he looks exactly like Ryan Gosling.
Yeah.
Okay, so much so that people are going to see him on the street and be like Ryan Gosling, and then he'll be like pizza. They'll be like, probably not Ryan Gosling.
Hey, Griffin, at what point in that sentence did you realize that it's fucking great? Was it 4 words in, 5 words in? Was curious the exact word at which my brilliance dawned on you.
And maybe, Griffin, in this universe, there hasn't been a Ryan Gosling till now.
Yes.
And moving forward, Billy will become what we know as Ryan Gosling.
Half goat.
And in the Notebook, it'll be like, what do you want?
Half goat, half goose. Half goat, half goose.
Okay, I'm into it. Sure. He looks pretty much exactly like Ryan Gosling. There it is. He is a very Indrid actually like takes a step back and he's like, whoa, damn. I guess I had your Earth's Ryan Gosling on the old brain when I was whipping that up. Sorry about that. That might end up being a little confusing. Indrid says, well, that would explain why why Leo's store was targeted. We still don't really know why Juno was targeted. But anyways, now that you can sort of take your turncoat friend here about town without fear of looky-loos, I mean, he does look like Ryan Gosling, which
Yeah.
is going to attract quite a few looky-loos. But anyway, I'd recommend
But
you get
why
out
would
there.
Ryan Gosling be? I think people will see it and be like, no, there's no way.
I mean, maybe he's doing sort of method research for the Land Beyond the Pines 2, I think it was called, or whatever.
And remember, you did agree, Indrid, to let us borrow your special glasses as kind of a disguise for young Billy. I don't know if you remember a month ago, but you agreed to do that.
He kind of smirks and he says, so you want to borrow my glasses?
Can I be straight? Here's the deal, Indrid. There's this big old cat in Sylvain that said he will make special stuff for us if we bring him certain things, and one of them was Sears spectacles or whatever. That's you. Give us some glasses. I'm done dancing around. We got a whole town to save. Give us your fucking specs.
He says,
Wow.
Please.
Please.
He says, well, because you asked so nicely. And he slips off his spectacles, and instantly he transforms, and you all behold the Mothman. And he is terrifying to look at. I think there is a reason why sort of local mythos around the Mothman sort of depicted him as something to be feared. It is because his form is sort of traditionally terrifying. He has these huge eyes, these huge wings, a just sort of exposed thorax and mandibles, and he is pretty upsetting to look at.
Give
I
him
think
the
you-
damn glasses back.
put them back on.
Yeah, you can wear the glasses.
Take the
Do you have
glasses.
like a pair of reading glasses or sunglasses
Yeah.
or stuff that you're not using?
Yeah, any cool Ray-Bans that we could just have? That'd probably count.
He slips the glasses back on and he says, "I'll see what I can find." And from
Hey,
outside,
wait, hold on. Let me look in your cupboards. Hey, look. Found 2 glasses.
Perfect.
from outside, as he slips his spectacles back on, you all hear the sound of just like clanging and clattering. It sounds like trash cans are being knocked down outside, and you hear something fall to the ground. And like as he sort of slips his glasses back on, Indrid like looks to the windows and towards the door. And Indrid, like to this point, has been a sort of like ethereal, stone cold sort of figure, like Stone Cold Steve Austin, just like not super emotional, but now like he looks kind of worried because he was just the Mothman and something was there outside.
Aubrey's on the move.
Okay.
Let the 2 of them kick it. See if he can get anything out of him.
So, like, chain him up, but be like, hey, here's the goat.
You're going to
He's
stay
all
at my
chained
friend
up.
Indrid's house.
You chain him up, and I'm assuming you and Ned, like this is a big thing, probably need help dragging his weight back to the RV park. You drag him back, and as you all are sort of like getting loaded up, when you look inside the Winnebago, it has been all cleaned up. And Indrid is like unplugging the RV from the utilities hookup at the RV park, and he says, "Well, it's unfortunately my time here has come to an end.
Wait, where? Why?
Whoa.
You all don't understand how people in this world feel about me." And you all seem more reasonable than most folk when it comes to the beings from Sylvain, but that is unfortunately not true for the vast majority of you. I have been discovered before and only narrowly escaped my fate, so...
Do you mean this dude? How this dude saw? And I point to like broken leg, unconscious guy.
I can appreciate that you have apprehended him. Are you going to kill him?
Well, let me put it this way, Indrid. He also knows that I do magic and that there are goatmen running around. So, like, we're kind of all in the same shitty boat, you and I, and all of us. So, like, I don't see us, like, just letting him go scot-free, go tell everybody, you know what I mean? So, I don't think you need to move just yet.
Are you talking about Keith? Are you saying we're going to kill Keith?
Yeah,
I'm not saying we're going to kill Keith.
This is the conversation, right? Like Indrid says, Aubrey, you're new at this. I have been in this game for a long time, and unless you're willing to put an end to this human's life, eventually the word is going to get out, and I am not going to be here when it does.
No, that's fair. That's fair. Hey, listen, I got a question for you, though. Are you done with your Bago, or are you going to leave that there? What's the story with that?
I'm going to take it with me on the road. It's my vehicle.
Okay, well, listen. Can we ask one thing of you, then? Can you take this goat man with you and then just, like, take him far away from here and leave him somewhere where he's not going to do any more harm?
And maybe like you all have adventures out there on the road. Maybe.
If we could separate him from whatever it is that's running the show for a little while, might just give us a little room to breathe. I don't want to kill the thing, but maybe separating it is a solution. I'm not saying you gotta do like planes, trains, and automobiles with the thing. Just take it 100 fucking miles out of town and then let it go, bud. It's not a big ask.
I think you would realize that wouldn't work just because these abominations can't be outside of the 1 mile perimeter of the archway. So like if he did this, I don't even know what would happen as he passed through the archway. Like would the goat man just like turn to ash in his car? That might be an upsetting experience for Indrid. I want to actually back up because it felt like Aubrey was trying to convince him to stay, which would probably be a manipulate someone role. I don't want to just like, force him out of the story if you can make a case for why he should stick around. And it sounds like that's what you're trying to do. So I want to like give you the.
I'm not going to back Audrey's play though if her to be verb is will kill Keith to keep Mothfriend.
I'm not saying I'll kill Keith. Listen, I'm telling you right now, like there's a lot on the line here, and frankly, we've already got we've got Billy that we're covering for and gonna have to take care of. We've got what's his face in the basement. Like we're covering up a lot of shit here at this point. I don't think to murder has to be the only solution we've got. And
yeah. You're good. I think roll to manipulate someone, the sort of stakes being like, I will take care of this. I will
11.
Keep this. Holy shit. All right. On a 10 plus, they'll do it for the reason you gave him. He nervously like tosses his keys up in the air, like and catches them over and over again. And he says, okay, fine. I don't see any futures where I'm being drawn and quartered quite yet. So I suppose I can take your word for it, Aubrey.
Absolutely. And I'll make you a deal, even like 48 hours. You know what I mean? And if we haven't figured it out in 48 hours and you want to skedaddle, absolutely. I totally get it.
Okay. I'll leave you all to it. And he heads back inside the Winnebago.
Now that you are staying, though.
He pokes his head back out. Yes?
To Duck's point, could you maybe babysit?
You're a goat man?
Yeah.
Well, one of them.
Just one, not the chill one. The one that was
not
zero
the chill one.
He says, "Sure, I get bored.
Great.
Let's have him."
We're gonna call this one Jonathan Gruff.
That's fun.
Yeah. So you take care of Jonathan Gruff.
You've thought about that for a month, haven't you?
No, it just occurred to me.
Oh, Jonathan Gruff. Okay. Very good.
And then the scene suddenly ends.
I am going to pull out Beacon and attack the chain that's binding Indrid.
Okay. And there is a goat man who's like right there. So if you like do this and don't do anything with the goat man is gonna get you. Yeah,
that's fine. I need one action's worth of things to do.
I feel you. But there will be some damage to the blade. You're swinging metal down onto hard metal, and you can get through it, but the durability of Beacon will be worn down a little bit.
Is this a choice I'm having to make? Are you making me make this choice?
I am making you make this choice.
I think it's what I would have done. Yeah. It's
okay.
what I would do.
You swing the blade down, and there is certainly some resistance as you chop the chain sort of against these hard roots. But you get through it, and the goat man sort of looks up at you in surprise, and you're definitely going to have to deal with that soon. Indrid
Pizza?
sort of instinctively, this one does not talk and say pizza.
Oh, man.
Indrid sort of instinctively like tries to roll out of the way.
Okay, in that moment, I need one more. I get one more action.
Okay.
When the goat man turns around and looks at me, I rear back my fist. And I punch Indrid in the face.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not going to make you roll for that. Why? Okay.
To knock his glasses off.
Oh, okay. You punch Indrid in the face, and he says, "Duck, what are you?" And then he becomes the Mothman. And I think seeing this, a lot of things just happen in front of this goat man very quickly, and he starts to crab walk backwards away just for a moment until he sort of composes himself. So now you've put some distance between you and the goat man.
Fly, Indrid, fly!
Indrid gets to his feet, and he grabs you by the shoulders, and he says, Duck, my visions. There's a hole in the ground. There's a large hole in the ground in the middle of Kepler, and buildings have fallen into it. I see cars. I see twisted wreckage.
No,
and
listen.
bodies.
We don't have a lot of time. I've seen it too. I know it fucking sucks. I saw it in a dream, and I thought it was just that anxiety dreams or whatever. But apparently it was a prophecy. I get it. This one I've seen too, and I swear to God, Indrid, we're not going to let it happen.
He nods and flies away.
Also, I took care of Keith, and you don't need to worry about it. I'll call you.
He gives a thumbs up. Goodbye.
The Mothman got thumbs?
I'm free.